Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to show you all how to play guitar in the style of Simon Neil. Now, Simon Neil is probably my biggest influence when it comes to guitar playing. He has quite a unique style. He's not a shredder necessarily, but he does some pretty intricate stuff sometimes, but also does really cool rhythm chords and things like that. Because he's in a three-piece, or in the early days, Biffy were a three-piece, he had to play rhythm and lead as well, so it ended up giving him quite what I think a unique guitar style. So the first tip I want to give you is to play in drop tuning. Simon plays 95% of his material in drop tuning, so particularly the early stuff was all in drop D. So I'm going to be in drop D for this video. Okay, and particularly on the Black and Sky era stuff, he kind of did this like power chord shape, like this standard tuning power chord shape, but in drop tuning. So instead of getting like that as your power chord, you're gonna get this, and you'll recognize that as the beginning of 27. But he also did it in other places as well, like on Infinity Land. There's there. So that's definitely a shape that I would consider using if you want to sound like Biffy Clyro. So it's just like your standard power chord shape, so 5 and 7, as if you were in standard tuning, but you're in drop D, so you get, it's not a really mean sounding chord. It's like 6th chord. It's really nice. In the right context, it sounds really good. One of the other things that I would recommend, so this is going to be my second tip, I guess, and I use this riff in my own song right in my diary, which is by my band Weak at the Knees. You kind of want to get these octaves in, so kind of building on this like kind of mean sounding chord. If you can add that extra octave in, it's a bit of a stretch, but if you can add that in, I feel like that really adds that kind of like Biffy style to it. And then from there, if you can just combine various root notes with various octaves, so you can take advantage of that D. Can you hear that one there? That's basically like an A inversion, so you've got A, C sharp, and then a higher A. Simon does that a lot as well, by the way. He uses these like major chords, but he starts with the 3rd rather than the root note, and you get this really kind of Black and Sky sort of vibe. Okay, so the next tip I'm going to give you is, if you're writing your own music, this will come in particularly handy, is repetition. So the two examples I can think of are Now I'm Everyone, so you've got the and then Bubbles, which obviously kind of adds like the bass notes in as well. So you've got this like, but Simon does expand on that by adding like the bass note in. So maybe what you could do is come up with your own pattern, so like find a key or whatever, and then try and add those bass notes in as well. So let's use that as our example. And you want to kind of keep that riff going for as long as possible to kind of like create that tension where it's like, oh, you're ready to go into the next bit of the song, but actually you kind of want to hang there a little bit and build up that tension and almost frustration in the listener. And then eventually you go into that next bit. So you could add like a... So by adding the bass note in, it kind of takes it from this repetitive, like, where you kind of want it to resolve, and then just makes it a little bit more like pretty, I guess. Something that Simon Neil does on like the later albums, like from Opposites forwards, first of all, he does kind of use standard tuning a little bit more, but he uses D standard. I'm not going to tune down to that. He does a lot of this like kind of Thunderstruck type stuff on different people. So you've got that there. It's literally the same notes but in D standard, but so you got to take advantage of those open strings and do like pull-offs and stuff. I know Thunderstruck isn't played with the pull-offs, but it's you can hear, if you listen to the two songs, that song's clearly inspired by Thunderstruck, I think. Also, A Hunger in Your Horn, let me tune back up. This is in D standard, but it's the... And then also, like, does this, like, kind of pull-off thingy again, like he does in different people. So you can kind of take advantage of things like that if you want, like, that later Biffy sound. Like that, what I just played there kind of adds the repetition aspect in as well. And then, like, if you want the later Biffy sound, you can just use these cowboy chords for the chorus. So A Hunger in Your Horn just is like... There are my main tips for playing like Simon Neil. There are probably more, but I don't want this video to be super long. I want it to be like quite accessible. So give those ideas a go. One other thing I would say is like experiment with time signatures as well. A lot of Biffy kind of utilizes 7/8, 5/8. A lot of the more obscure stuff does anyway. So, but what you've got to do when you write songs like Biffy, you've got to make sure it still sounds quite poppy, because even the more obscure stuff has like those hooks in it. So yeah, that's what I would say to do. So thank you for watching this video. I'm going to try and make more videos like this because I've got my personal YouTube channel now. Now that my band is kind of a band again and not a solo project, I can upload stuff like this on this channel. I enjoy making it. So yeah, subscribe for more. Take it easy. See ya.